For our second speaker of this evening, Lucas Zanotto is a designer, animator, and director based in Helsinki. His charming kinetic characters and playful animated loops have never failed to put smiles on our faces. However, he's also garnered some impressive accolades, including an Apple Design Award and a Golden Lion in Cannes. He's joining us this evening to provide an insight into his multidisciplinary practice, spanning illustration, commercial directing, and 3D animation. Smiles very much guaranteed too, I can assure you. Lucas, please turn on your audio and video so we can say hi.
Hey.
Hi there. How's it going? Yeah, I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good. All good.
You're in a very smart kind of studio-looking space. Is that in your studio?
Yeah, we adapted to the Corona situation. So we have this shared office and we have this corner with like studio setup.
Very nice.
Which is very comfy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, I'm going to hand over to you. So if you want to kind of start sharing your screen.
Yes.
And everyone else, I guess, yeah, just a reminder to please put your questions for Lucas in the chat. And I'll try and get to them after Lucas has finished his talk. Perfect. That looks great. I'll leave you to it.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you very much for letting me speak here. Very honored. Thanks for listening as well. I'm Lucas. I'm Italian, but I'm based in Helsinki. I come from a product design background. I studied that in Milan. I worked there a few years. And after that, I started moving more towards graphic design and filmmaking and animation. And what I did the last 10 years plus is mainly directing commercials for different brands. I show you one clip I did about 4 years back or 3 years back, where we decided to make a cake with drones. So this is all completely done in camera. It shows pretty well. I like to work with in-camera tricks, and I like combine different mixed medias. And this is just a good example to show how, I don't know, maybe not seeing stuff too serious, but trying to make fun with it. And this was a very nice project, as it was all custom made. We had 4 pylons on set. It was all completely done in camera, and it was good fun. So this is what I mainly do for a living. I also do character-based works. So this is, I started a company 7 years ago that is called Yatatoy, and it focuses on children content. It started with an app. We made a couple of apps. It was fairly successful. I also published a couple of books. And it's just a very nice journey. We are very proud of it. We won the Apple Design Award in 2018. And it's just a brand I'm super proud to have created. And it's just an ongoing journey. We're working on a 5th app, and it's good fun. I also do a lot of self-initiative free projects. So this came out of boredom. I started painting black dots onto paper plates, and I went into the nature and place them and make a picture. And it was just always so nice to see how just by placing this simple eyes onto things, suddenly you have empathy for this character that you create. And I made a blog, and it was called Having a Face, and it went pretty well. It had a big response, and it became a thing. I carried these plates with me on every holiday for a couple of years. And it ended up that Pictoplasma, one of my favorite festivals in Berlin, it's a character-focused festival. They asked me in 2015 to make their identity. So we made this nice time-lapse clip in the Finnish landscape with snow and this ice attached on rocks. And it turned out very nice. You can have a look online. I also started playing with kinetic sculpture. So I did this in our living room, and I just wanted to take this simple white dot and the black dot in front, and just creating this very simple sculptures that suddenly come to life by just very simple movement. And it's very, very pleasant to see. I think it's nice to create again this empathy to some object, which is just some rolling balls and something. And it's just very pleasant to do. Here, very sad, notice the ice cream on the side. This turned into an exhibition that I did in Berlin, I did it in Milan, I did it here in Helsinki. And I was also at some stage invited to China, to Shenzhen, for a conference, to have a talk there. And it ended up that a new shopping mall opened and they wanted to have an installation on one of their main buildings. So I sent them this test I did, and they sent me back a few weeks later this video. And I was super impressed because it became bigger and bigger from this living room, little ice. Now we have this 6 meter high ice in the middle of Shenzhen. And I really like the contrast of having this analog, very simple motor between these skyscrapers, and Shenzhen in general is very tech. So it was really, really lovely to see. I started also playing a lot with 3D software. As I come from the background of building a lot of stuff, I like the tactile and I like analog, but I noticed that doing that in 3D has actually a very similar approach and a similar satisfaction in the end. And I tried just to break down with simple shapes, how much can I break down an animal that you still recognize it? And I started to make these little loops, which I put together in a little clip, a little short movie called Minimals. And it's just very simple, simple loops, simple shapes, but still you can tell straight away what kind of animal it is. So it's good fun. I also started playing with hands and different loops with different kinetic hands. And I started feeding Instagram and other social platforms with it. And the response was pretty good. People really enjoy these seamless loops, and they watch it in continuously, and it just relaxes them, I think. And yeah, I did a couple of those hands. This one is called Nuts. And then at some stage, I brought back these eyeballs and I made these swings, and I have these different moods, and I called them mood swings, and I put it on Twitter, and it went pretty viral. It had something like 1.5 million views within an hour, and I just thought there is something. So I continued making these loops with these different moods and these rolling eyes, and people really responded to it. Instagram started to kick off, and it was good. It's good fun. I really love doing this format because it's very short and I can do it quickly. I can maybe do it in a couple of hours. I like to make the music to it as well, and then you can just upload it and the project is kind of closed. You have always these little projects and these little ideas. And it's really nice to break it down to the movement and the shapes. Like this is the rolling duck, and this is a caterpillar. And it's really joyful to do. And people tell me they thank me. They come back with people mainly with anxiety or panic attacks or just stressed feelings in general. They come back to the account to just relax, and that's a really, really very, very nice feeling to get. So because it's just positivity, so I really enjoy doing it. And I continue exploring this. This is a dance modes. So I introduced these lips as well, which come back often. And it's nice because it led me to quite a lot. I connected with a lot of different people in the industry, and it brought me it brings me jobs now, and it brings me also lots of nice collaborations. So this, for example, is a collaboration with Kos. I really admire his work, and I was really super honored to do this project together. And it was just a great fit with his crossed eyes combined with my loops. It's slightly political, so it got quite a lot of attention. So yeah, let's hope the best for next week. And this was a project with you guys, actually, with It's Nice That. So you got commissioned from TikTok to choose different artists to play with the logo and just interpret it on a word. I got excitement, and I came up with this blowing up logo that just swings through the room. And it was fun because I think I was the first in line. So I had an account because of my daughters, which had like 5 followers, and they said I need an account because they want to link it to some making of material. And then when it went up, it just exploded. I suddenly got something like 80k followers within one day, and it's a very weird platform, but still I continue feeding it, and it's just good exposure. So yeah, I want to finish now the talk with another collaboration I did with one of my favorite musicians called Rival Consoles. And I made this little loop, and he was super kind to put this mini track on top, and it turned out beautiful. So, and that's it. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Instagram.
Thanks so much, Lucas. That was amazing. Great kind of whistle-stop tour through your work. We've had a couple of questions also put to you from our audience.
Yes.
Fantastic. First person asks, Lucas, what other artists' subjects inspire your work? When did you start cultivating this style? So maybe a couple of questions there in one.
Well, okay.
And not small ones either.
Yeah, like what artists inspire in general, or?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think my absolute favorite artist or designer is Bruno Munari, which I always refer as my favorite. But I mean, that's from the classics, and of course it goes to Dieter Rams and Enzo Mari and all these big names. But there is a lot of people doing great stuff, and I follow different people. There's a little community around Instagram, and there is a lot of people that inspire me daily with really nice stuff. So it's not maybe a specific artist in that sense.
Right. And I guess the second part of the question was kind of around your style, your personal style, which is very unique. I mean, I guess, yeah, when did you start cultivating that?
Yeah, well, I think I work since a very long time on it, and I guess it's crystallizing. It's just evolving over time. So it starts with choosing stuff you like and filtering out things you like and zip them into your stuff. And you do that over and over and over. And at some stage, I guess, your taste comes through. I guess that's the style. It's more of a question of taste, I guess, and filtering.
Yeah, interesting. You mentioned in your talk that it takes only a couple of hours to make one of those short loops. But I guess I'm really intrigued to how long it takes to come up with the ideas behind them. I mean, so much of your work seems relatively simple in the execution, although maybe not making a cake with some drones, but the rest of it certainly does. Like black dots on a white background or on a white plate, it's so simple, but the idea must take you a while. What's the kind of perfect environment for you, and how long does it take to come up with an idea like that?
Yeah, I mean, funnily, you go into a loop actually. So once you maybe you have an idea, you make one, this inspires or triggers already a new idea to another one, and it just again builds up. But a lot of, I don't know, in bed, I guess, falling asleep, you think a lot, and then suddenly it comes up, and the next day you kind of need to make it because you just want to do it or create it. But I guess it's an ongoing thing in the head.
Do you have a notebook by your bedside table?
Yeah, no, I used to draw a lot. Lately, I just crumble it in my brain and try to remember it, I guess.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's kind of difficult to replicate if you're not you and you've got your genius brain. But thanks very much for that, Lucas. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you can now turn off your audio and video.
Okay.
But yeah, really appreciate you joining us.
Speak soon.